What are human rights? Let's break down human rights into two core components. A human is a member of the Homo sapiens species, a man, woman, or child, a person. A right is something you are entitled to or allowed, freedoms that are guaranteed. With both of these definitions in mind, we can say that human rights are rights that you simply have because you are human. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights is a document that most of the world, with the US being an exception, follows, containing a total of 30 articles that go over the basic principles of human rights. Contrary to its constitutionally protected requirement towards respecting human rights, the United States has been internationally criticized for its violation of human rights. This is in most part due to the fact that the United States' own constitution holds its own laws and amendments discussing citizens' rights. Today, we will be going over the top 5 articles of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that the U.S. can be found guilty of violating.
Article 25, everyone has the right to food, shelter, and healthcare. If everyone has the right to food, shelter, why are 600,000 people in the United States sleeping in the streets without anything to eat every single night? About 200,000 people are families, and 48,000 of them are veterans. Many of these struggling victims are losing out on receiving healthcare, which inevitably leaves them trapped in the vicious cycle of low-class living. There are, however, many opportunities with communities to receive food and shelter in the United States. But in terms of the nationwide assurance, not everyone can be saved.
Article 19, everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. If everyone has the freedom of opinion and expression, why are thousands of civilians in prison for speaking their minds? Protesters are being suppressed and pushed around by their own government. While freedom of speech is found in the First Amendment, many opinions aren't protected by the law and often leave the interpretation of the amendment very scrutinized. The U.S. is known for leaving opinions as opinions, leaving out the expression or practice of those opinions.
Article 21, Voting Rights of Certain Races. As the past shows, racial discrimination is still prevalent even in this day and age. Many citizens have a hard time being able to partake in voting due to many regional limitations placed on them by race. For example, in the case United States versus Ventura County, many of the Latino voters complained that the county didn't provide many bilingual translators and election-related information translated into Spanish, making it very hard to partake in the process.
Article 5. No one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhumane, or degrading treatment or punishment. One famous imprisonment facility in the United States is Guantanamo Bay, known for the many stories of inhumane standards of living, practically lending the location to be known as torturous for its inmates. Guantanamo Bay is the epitome of how people shouldn't be treated as a human being. Although many efforts have been pushed to attempt to close down the facility, the detention camp is still running to this day with no certain closure time frame.
Article 26. Everyone has the right to education. Whether it's being able to afford college or being racially discriminated upon at school, not everyone has the same equal experience of education. It has been known to the U.S. that the U.S. has had its moments of racial discrimination in education, from slaves being able to receive it or students not being able to go to certain colleges during the civil rights movement. This human right was definitely infringed on in the past, but has steadily grown to be more open to race. The other issue is people's economic standings. Although colleges and schools exist, people earning barely enough to survive can't even begin to think about achieving higher education. Higher education certainly isn't accessible to everyone, making it an infringement on human rights.
39th President Jimmy Carter states that, as concerned citizens, we must persuade Washington to reverse course and regain moral leadership according to international human rights norms that we had officially adopted as our own and cherished throughout the years. Carter captures the essence of why democracy within the nation is what makes America the country it is now. Over the years of several human rights violations, many of these infringements have been amended or in the process of bettering. Citizens' opinions have been a major factor in this progressive movement and is only growing in the present day. This is due to the many outlets of social media allowing people to voice opinions and be exposed to topics foreign to some. Through the share of knowledge, people have the ability to be knowledgeable of the world around them and can unify the world towards certain causes. Only through time may democracy work as public opinions change, leading to changing state in the nation's view of rights. Although many rights have been infringed on, we can only hope that citizens will do their part and address these infringements accordingly by voicing their opinions.
As you can see, the infringement of human rights is a big issue that affects the entire population of the United States, including you. So what can you do to help spread awareness of the blatant violation of human rights? Many non-governmental organizations, or NGOs, exist in the world for the sole purpose of pressuring and monitoring actions of governments to comply to basic human rights. These organizations, such as Amnesty International, allow individuals to do their part in human rights movements by donating, volunteering, and speaking out about human rights and justice. By helping efforts such as these, you will help aid in mending the injustices caused upon us as a population by your nation. Thank you.